Hi, it's Heather from Teaching with Coffee and Mascara. My favorite quote, or it's not actually a quote, my favorite thing that someone taught me as an early teacher was that if a student is misusing a classroom supply or doing something wrong, that you probably need to look at you and say, did I teach that well enough? All right, so this leads us into last couple of weeks we've been starting to get ready with our classroom management. And the first steps of that was building a strong classroom community. And now we're gonna start building on our classroom management systems. And you guessed it, the very first step that we're gonna go over today is teaching and setting expectations. So if you have students that are misusing things in your classroom, your first thought needs to be, did I teach and set those expectations? And do I need to reteach them? So let's talk all about how you some ways that you can do that. So the very first thing is, obviously you want to do this in the first 6 weeks. You should be doing this for almost every classroom supply in your classroom, even if you're not a kindergarten teacher, as well as teaching expectations for other things like transitions, how you line up in the hallway. All of those things should be explicitly taught in the beginning of the year. And then as students are not doing the right thing, then you go back and reteach them. So basically what you want to do, it's very simple. You can create like an anchor chart like this one. Basically at the top you put like what you're teaching, pencil expectations. And then on the right side, you write things that, what are pencils for? And the most important part of this is that you actually want to do this with your students. So you're not just spouting off to them what you've already written, but your kids are telling you, what are pencils for? Pencils are for writing. Pencils, the bottom is for erasing. What else are pencils for? And you write it down. Not that much stuff, right? And then you get into the other side. What are pencils not for? What should we not be doing with our pencils? And you go through that list, and the kids help you generate that list, and you'll be surprised at the things that they come up with. But more often than not, sometimes those things that they come up with are things that you've probably had students do in your classroom before. So I'm keeping this short and sweet, but basically anytime that you have an issue in your classroom, good classroom management is to first go and set and teach those expectations for literally every single thing in your classroom. And if things are going wrong, the first step for good classroom management is to reteach it. I hope that helps, and I hope it helps give you a little bit tidbits. These are going to be a little bit of a shorter series going through classroom management because there are so many bits and pieces that go in with it. And I hope to see you next Sunday. A good way for you to know when I put out new videos, which is every Sunday, is to subscribe and hit the little bell to be notified next week when a new video is published for our classroom management series. See you then.